What's up guys? Today is the day where I give you the top 5 easiest and hardest ghosts to identify in Phasmophobia. I am doing my best to be stable here as the ongoing events in my life has been giving me some trouble lately. A person by the name of Johnny Sands, what's up dude, hope you're doing well, has suggested this video. We're going to start with the easiest ghost to identify and then we're going to move on to the hardest. Some of these you may disagree with and that's okay. No one can agree on everything here and that would be boring if that was the case. Let's begin though, shall we? The 5th easiest ghost is the Banshee. This applies to multiplayer only, by the way, when the target is in the house with a few other people. As long as the team knows who the target is, they should be fine while the target hides or runs away from the ghost. I was not sure whether or not to put the Hantu or Phantom here, but I decided to let the Banshee have its shine here. The 4th easiest ghost is the Mimic. Self-explanatory, with its weakness being the ghost orb. It is able to perform abilities of other ghosts that may not have the Mimic's evidence as well. Freezing temperatures, ghost orb, and fingerprints are easy to get, but the spirit box may be a pain sometimes. Just make sure you know that you're not dealing with an Onryo. The 3rd easiest ghost is the Revenant. Get a hunt going and smudge it. As long as you get the smudge in, you will see just how slow it is going to be after you smudge it. I would not rely on its speed anymore when it chases you because there are a lot of ghosts nowadays that speed up to you after they see you. Also, you will hear how slow its footsteps is when it is hunting while you are hiding, so that's a bonus. I'm still wondering what the bug evidence is though, but I do not know anyone who played this game on March 2020. The 2nd easiest ghost is the Wraith. Place some salt down around the ghost and you got a Wraith. Unfortunately, you cannot take feet pics. Me big sad. The easiest ghost to identify is, well, for those who guessed it, it's DEOGEN, of course. All you really need is one hit and you know what the ghost is because it knows where you are at all times before it slows down at 6 meters around you. Honorable mentions goes to Hantu, Phantom, Obake, and Oni. Alright, now let's move on to the hardest ghosts. Pause. This section might be a little long, so prepare for that. The 5th hardest ghost comes to the Spirit. There's nothing special about the Spirit when it comes to identifying it. In fact, it is just a ghost that serves its purpose, and can make you think that it could be other ghosts as well. Its weakness does not help matters either, as any ghost can hunt you within 2 to 3, maybe 4 minutes if you're lucky. 4th hardest? The JINN. Before, ghosts like the Mimic, Hantu, Raiju, and other ghosts that speed up the longer you are in their line of sight made this ghost easy to identify back then. Now I believe it is the 4th hardest ghost to identify. What makes this ghost harder is when you turn the fuse box off, it is basically a spirit from that point on. My 4th and 3rd hardest picks were actually hard to choose because there are a lot of ghosts that are easy to identify, but I just went with the JINN with here instead. In 3rd place, it is the Poltergeist. Again, I did not really know what to choose here, so I went with Poltergeist here. I said this in another video that the ghost doesn't really have any good abilities outside of it throwing multiple objects at once, which you can just put a pile of items on the floor and wait for the Poltergeist to interact with them. An added bonus that the Poltergeist has is 2 pieces of evidence that can be a pain at times as well. The 2nd hardest ghost to identify is the GORYO. You are unable to see its dots within the naked eye. You either have to stay a room away from where it interacts with the dots or just go in the truck and look at the video feed. To make the ghost easier to find though, just put dots in the room that the ghost is in and do not stay in the same room as it with the night vision video camera. The reason this ghost is number 2 is because in Nightmare, it always has dots in evidence. And the hardest ghost to identify is the Shade, a very shy ghost that barely gives off any interaction unless you have a cursed possession to force it. That's the story with the Shade here. EMF 5 is not really much of an issue if you have an Ouija board for the Shade or even freezing temperatures for the sake of it. The writing bug though is another story. Imagine if this ghost had evidence of ghost writing, dots, and spirit box without the increased chances of writing and dots evidence. That would be so bad. But luckily for everyone here who plays this game, those evidence combined belongs to the DEOGEN, the easiest ghost to identify.